Hello and welcome back to Age of Wonders 4. It's finale day. The actual finale, no matter what happens, we're beating this campaign right now in this video. We have 8 turns left on our Age of Magic victory. I thought we'd be able to speed through it, but a couple of chrono gates and teleporters deep in our back lines have proven to be a bit more difficult than we originally anticipated. That being said, we're finally breaking down one of them, and if we can blockade this cave, not necessarily the easiest task, but I think that will help us pull the rest of it. Really what I should do is I should come down here, block that teleporter, and then siege Stoneforge, but I think if I just block the cave, it'll be fine. We have 2 turns left on Embergate, and then our best army, the man himself, gets to come out and do some fighting. But we ended on an end turn. Let's begin on an end turn as we count down the final 8 turns, hopefully. The final 8 turns, assuming nothing goes wrong. World Shaper's been doing a pretty good job keeping a lot of these guys at bays, but I am starting to see now we're also getting all of the vassal armies, Magnaford, Goldbank, Crownfall. They're all starting to come down as well. They ain't the strongest. But with my limit on Imperium, my guy's got issues as well. We received a trade proposal. Megaira, she's going to want to end the war. We could pull vassalization. Just duck out early. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I would like those armies to be able to be back on our front lines a little bit safer. And I am really curious about something, which is, if you are doing a magic victory, do NPC armies attack? She finally took this location outside the Tree of the Fae, so I can no longer get that as an extra little feather in my cap. A Wyvern Eyrie. Noted. And she has squished in an army down here as well. What I actually really need to make sure is that she does not build a Fey Mist generator. Because if she did that, she could hide all of her units in this terrain, and I would lose my advantage of all of my units being hidden. The final 80 turns. At the most, there are 40 turns, because we are on turn 160. Or I should say moving into turn 160. So absolutely worst case Ontario. 60 turns and we win. Let's boop these. Boop these guys right on the nose. That's another charger. But that's okay. These guys are in range of each other. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna not do this herbalist. These guys kind of need to heal. So we'll give them a little room to do that. We pick up Artisan Fortification and another tome. I mean, I don't know. We could take Tome of Scrying just to get guided projectiles. Give us some higher to hit chance. Towers of True Sight, not bad. Cleansing Flame is bad for us. Firebomb isn't bad. Nor is Dragon Attack. You know what else is not bad? Fog of Insanity. 20% chance to get Insanity every turn to attacking armies. In the terrain. Any domain. Yeah. Then there's also the Tome of Severing, which gives us Disrupting Blades. You know what? I've been talking about a big game about this one for a long time, and Materium and Shadow have kind of been our main things, so...
to slaying any other monster.
These aren't the ones I want, though. That's the one I want. Running out of tomes to research. It does seem to be that, doesn't it? Do a province claiming pact. Yeah, man, Drake Rider. Let's get your tier 16. Controlled Chaos. I could give you Ancient of Earth. Can no longer use a mount. %30 damage. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Big ogre. Big demon ogre with a crossbow. As big as a dragon. Why not? Check it out. We're at 66 mana. We finally tanked our mana score. She's a militant warlord. She won't ever trade that. 68 to 5,000. All right, so I should still win that. It might just be with some casualties. I do not believe that I need good armies back here anymore. So I'm going to chronogate her. And you. Shade Networks, Warbands, Accursed Blades, Cursed Blades. I think you need more Warbounds. God, if I can remember whose army this is meant to go into. You should lose 2 of them. You should take 2 of them. Much better rounded. Pyromancers. All right, whatever. So that's a fair-sized army up that way we can use. We'll keep desecrating land. Steel skin, magic materials, tome of transmutation. Yeah, we could probably go down that route. I think we might have already taken it, to be honest. This game looks really cool. Would you suggest it? Absolutely, Battles. It's really good Fantasy 4X. I can hardly recommend it any more than I already do. It is, I think, top tier, one of the best. And just generally a joy to play. I kind of like the idea of burning down this guy's entire island. Just to be rude. So let's do that. Let's desecrate all of his territory. The other thing I really should do is pick up death magic, but I'm worried about dropping myself down to 100 Imperium. So I ain't gonna do that yet. You only have 100 hours in it? Rookie numbers. Gotta pump those numbers way up. I'm pretty sure this game has beaten my stream time for Total War Warhammer 3. Not 2, but 3. I think it's finally taken second place. Conjure Spell Ward, insanely powerful spell, I tell you. Friendly Spelljammer in the wild, sign you up. Yeah, I mean, I probably should be using them, but... and I probably will unlock them. The idea of being able to disrupt attacks 60% on all of my units, pretty much. It's really powerful. For me right now, very powerful. A lot has changed since you last played. They just keep adding more things in. So there's a lot more dual tomes and a handful of new unit types. How many hours do we have in? We're about 420. 420, 425. Which shockingly does not feel like that much, but I've also beaten pretty much everything the game has. This is why I'm so excited when DLC comes out, because I'm like, ooh, builds I haven't done. New tomes, new combinations. Treasures galore. Well, I guess they're busy. Can I still cheese fights by playing really slow and blocking certain parts of the map and AoE most stuff? No, not really. There's been a bunch of, especially in this latest patch, there's a bunch of new stuff for movement. So, for example, our charge units. This is a really cool ability that they have. Oh, Dwayne the Rock Johansson has an offer for you. You can join me as soon as I have the capacity, Dwayne. Dwayne the Rock Johansson. So these guys, Warbound, they have this ability Bulldoze, which just allows them to move forward 4 hexes. So if somebody forms a shield wall, these guys will just go whoop and pop out the other side and then kill the spellcasters in the back. They're really good for that. And there's been a bunch of new units that have been added to cause that kind of chaos. Nature, incredibly OP. They're all OP, I think, if you know how to use them. But for the most part, I think the balance is really strong right now. Why am I attacking you without everybody else coming to help you? Ain't no need to solo that fight. No need to fight a fair fight. 150. It's quite the siege, young lady. None of these characters have siege breaker. Just kind of what I would like for this siege. What are you gonna do though? 5 turns? 4 turns? 5 turns. +2, +2, +2, +2, +3, 4 turns. Okay, so we'll undermine the walls. That's a 4-turn breach. I can't complain about that, Captain. What are you gonna do in the meantime? Because Rob's caused some trouble. Snowball, do the auto combat only by then. Don't like about Age of Wonders battles is how defensive things can get. I like offensive high damage playstyles, but I still rely on the same defensive openings over and over again. So that is, I'm with you on that, and I have been finding that this new patch not necessarily forces me to, but is causing me to play a bit differently. I'm relying a bit more on shock units and skirmishers. These shades, for example, they've been an incredible backbone in these fights. They aren't very good at tanking things, but when they get behind someone and do this fatal strike, doing extra damage based on lost HP, and I think it has a 50% crit chance if you flank with it, it's very good. And so I've been throwing units into more aggressive plays, knowing that if I do more damage, that's actually going to be a better defense than just sitting back and turtling. Everything's OP. Orders become your crutch affinity. Vassals, OP. There are more counters to turtling. Yeah. There's a lot of new abilities as well that chain. So if you keep all of your units together, they can cast one spell and hit all of your units at once, which is really gross. I am finding that I am regretting turtling more often than not. Part of me kind of wants to fight this, but at the same time, man's got places to be. Megaira the Skeleton is cast into the astral void, banished from this realm. Whatever schemes they had in the work, none of them shall come to fruition. Her pyrekin, their spirits crushed by the false idol's yoke, now find themselves at your mercy. Ooh, a bunch of free Imperium. I'll take that. Bum, 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 bum. Raising cities takes 2 last turns. Raise yields 50 gold per population. Raising cities yields 20% gold permanent income. Let's take that one instead. I ain't in a rush to raise it. I just need to get it raised whenever. Now I can't burn down nothing. Whoa. I ain't gonna burn down nothing. I guess we'll burn down stuff up here instead. Range units, fair doo-doo now? I don't think anybody is doo-doo. I think things are generally pretty well balanced. They don't do great in auto. Also, flying units don't do very good in auto, I've discovered. But it's still okay. Ranged with defensive units are still good in manual. Tend to don't do as well in auto. Auto seems to want big, strong, aggressive units. I mean, my shades keep living in all of my autos. Mostly they just want units that have things like steadfast or berserk, something that brings them back to life. I guess we might as well head back to the old item forge. Can I make a cool... You know what? She's using a crossbow right now. Let's give her a gun. Let's give her a good fire gun. Mound. Critical hit damage, critical hit chance. Sure. The gun from heck. Capture, 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 collected, captured, entered. I am still worried that I'm not going to see the computer coming out of somewhere. Mostly underground, but Otto loves the classic shock and support unit combo. Yes, yep. The AI loves support units and is actually very good with support units. Mostly because they will buff up their entire army an insane amount before rushing in. And that's one of those things, if you're turtling, but you're fighting a support-based army, you're actually in trouble. Because if they all come in and they all have 5 strengthened, 5 resistance, 5 bolstered defense, regeneration 2, hastened 1, and they haven't cast a spell yet, it's scary. Currently running a build that stacks evasion bonuses, and I can freely ignore most range units. Well, yeah, okay. If you build specifically to counter a unit, they're gonna do bad. That's kind of how the game works. It's all about what does the enemy have? What does the bad guys have? We were undead. Everybody was getting fire damage, so they did all sorts of fire damage to us. So I went and got Infernal Focus so that we had Fire Skin, so that we no longer were affected by burning and that we had all sorts of fire resistance. That doesn't mean that fire was bad, just because I built against it. Not sure support are worth it after a certain point. I guess if you have good tier 3 support options. Yeah, I mean, this is a big issue is there's still no tier 4 support. There's no racial tier 4 support. I think everybody else has a tier 4 at this point, but that doesn't. There's Scalds. Scalds are really good support. And there are, yeah, I mean, like there are non-racial tier 4 supports. Druid of the Cycle, very, very good. Scalds, very, very good. Tier 2 just doesn't hold up. That's the problem. Once you start into these tier 3 armies, tier 3, 4, 5, you kind of got to drop 1 and 2. Unless you have specifically like a Mighty Meek build. Yeah, pass. Yeah, pass. Okay. Boom. Pick up Disrupting Blades next. Magic Victory in 5 turns. My vassal has insulted me. I'm just going to forgive him. I know that's a good act, but also I'm pure evil. Fortified Crucible, into Shade Network. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Into Artisan Fortification. Zephyr Archer into Double Warbound. Those guys are fine. I'm actually low enough on money here that I don't want to build any more units. It's crazy to say something like that out loud, but that's not entirely true. I do want to build 1 more unit. Oh, I have an Accursed Shrine down here. I should probably blow all that up, but I don't think I will. What do you need? You have a Warbreed, a Trickster, a Shade, a Dragon. And you are going... Let me just check underground. Radiance is still safe. Stoneforge has some troops popping out. Why don't we go here? I'm a little bit worried that these guys are going to come down. So we'll add them in. We'll move this mage over. This is sieging with all of its might. These guys are good, good, good. Radiance has another annex. We might as well take a research post. Keep cruising. No clue what the odds are to hit, but they must be abysmal. AI is not adapting for it. Feudal is terrible. This is, I have seen a lot of people saying Feudal is really bad right now and needs to get updated. That seems to be the one popular consensus, is that Feudal is a bit weaker than other groups. Dark at least has some interesting things, but Feudal's just bummer. I guess, do they even get the governor? Does Feudal get the special governor abilities anymore? Dark is doo-doo for early economy. Feudal has some quick growth for cities. I can be countered, game broken. Well, Dark is really nice because you don't have to worry about things like happiness in your cities. You can just do whatever you want. So your build order gets to switch up quite a bit. Feudal's good with stand together. It can be, yeah. Especially if you take something like the resilience stacks. Where did they just come out of? Sneaky breaky. Okay. Noted. Race traits don't really have any balance right now. Mount traits are way overpriced for what you get. It can be. Having mounts, if you build your build around having mounts, you can have some really crazy builds. Case in point, the Oops All Bird campaign. Is it bad in auto-resolve? Yes. Does it 100% destroy every fight manually? Yes. Does it take a really long time to get online? Absolutely. But that's half the joy. Oops. There goes all my mana. Ooh, okay. So let's actually have you guys pop over here then. That's not really a problem. Two, three, two. So let's go. You. 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 This will get rid of Virix. Where's the Spelljammer? Is that it? I don't want to retreat because I don't want to lose my movement. The Spelljammer's there. It's fine. Oh, I could have blocked that Spelljammer. You can keep attacking. If I move up, I end up in a pretty rough spot. What worries me is about not destroying these guys before that Spelljammer triggers. Can't hit that guy for some reason. This gets rid of Titania. I might not win it, though. Okay, I technically do. Put you there. You there, you there. Okay. Okay. Let him heal. I could block this teleporter. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Favorable wins. That's a shade. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Can I put this Zephyr Archer there? No, I cannot. Pull you out. Put you in. It's a safer block on the teleport. 900, 700. There's no way they can't beat it. They also don't have spells because I just killed all their heroes. They can't get through to this teleporter, so that place is slapped down. These guys are going to be countered by them on the Chrono Gate. They can't get down there that fast yet. I'm going to recast favorable winds so we have it charged. Keep cooking. Feudal governor abilities are gone. Okay. But they have 20% maintenance, negative 20% maintenance. That's actually huge. Minus 20% maintenance is a lot. Random racing traits. Otherwise, I find myself picking the same OP ones over and over again. I like to try and just build the roleplay. There are some traits that it does feel sometimes you're going, oh, well, I'm going to take that one. Oh, I'm going to take that one. But there's reasons for all of them. I think the thing is that the faction specific stuff doesn't necessarily make that big of a difference. So if you decide you want to take resilience instead of strong, it's not really going to make that big of a difference. It's minor, but in the grand scheme of things, it's only affecting your racial units. And unless your build is specifically hinging around a certain thing because you're trying to do some sort of weird challenge build, then you shouldn't really have a huge problem. Yeah, losing the governor abilities from Feudal, though, definitely is a bummer. Still have a building that doubles the governor bonus. Okay, that's massive, especially on a recruiting character. Recruiting governor, if it gets double bonuses, that means everything's coming in at legendary rank. So that's not that. That alone is extremely overpowered. I would say that makes up for everything. The AI doesn't group in auto resolves, which turns their support from OP to garbage. Yeah. I don't know. The AI keeps getting better and better every patch, so I suspect they'll figure that out. Some tomes as well, double governor bonus. You don't think it works properly anymore? Feudal subculture with draft focus and opposite of stand together, stand alone and I'm in. I mean, I feel like Giant Kings could potentially rework Feudal. I don't know if that's on the plan though. Helheim. Hi, Helheim. All right, this teleporter is buckled. Spelljammer is buckled. Stoneforge is Dunzo. These boys are smashing. 7,000 to 2,000. You've got to be joking me. You see what the pathfinding just did? Instead of running forward and killing this guy, unlocking Archon Blood, he went through the corner trigger to the teleporter and now doesn't have enough movement. That's bad pathfinding. That is upsettingly bad pathfinding. I don't like that one bit. What are you doing? Got all those ritual pyres. I don't know. Take that, I guess. You've got a shade network. Let me take that. Artisan fortifications. Merchandise. Silver Court. Wow, this is a dope city. Are you kidding me? Look at it. It's like completely, it's on like a peninsula just surrounded by volcano. This is badass as hell. He's got a school of cryomancy down here. These have got to be the toughest cryomancers in existence. Who studies cryomancy inside of a volcanic caldera? That's wild. Huge cojones. Well, is there anything left for me to desecrate? I don't think that really works on the sea in quite the same way. Get him. I'm just desecrating anything I can get my grubby little mitts on. Okay, we got 3 turns left. Have I looked underground in a while? No, but it's looking okay. Minus 20% maintenance when minus 50 is max, and you can easily get to the cap without the feudal buff. Not a very good bonus. I actually didn't know minus 50 was the cap. Yeah, there's not that many other things that add to it. Having a flat minus 20 on all armies is certainly nothing to shake a stick at. Also, by the way, Zethos, thank you for the follow. I saw you in there. Welcome to the agency. You get non-racial units. Suffer not the Xenos to live. Speaking of heroes, did you notice some heroes come with an old trait, Adept of Affinity, which lets them take the signature skill of that affinity without affinity point prereqs? No. But that seems like an interesting trait. Up to level 8? I kind of like that. That seems like a good, that seems like a neat difference. Allows you to build certainly different types of heroes. Might be intentional, but it's certainly weird. Way you build armies have massively changed. I do like using your own racial units because they're simply built better and you don't need to pay the upkeep racial transformations. I mean, I've done builds where I don't even use racial transformations. I don't use any of the enhancements. We've had a couple builds in the past do that. Boop, 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 boop. Here you go. Have some food, rock guard. Oh, meteor arrows. Yes. Absolutely. The gun from Heck is ready. We can give it to this giant ogre. Just basically added an extra 10 onto her attack. She's ready to party. Actually, I haven't really looked through what some of the ogre look like. I guess she's a barbarian. Get her barbed up. You just can't beat a good head on a pike, can you? All right, these guys got a fortified crucible, which is good for now. You can grab... you could grab that mine, and you could turn it into a... Bazaar of Wunderbars. I think we've had a couple of population boons here. Stoneforge is breached and buckled. One turn race. I figure, yes, that costs 500 and I'm really low on Imperium, but I'm also going to get 100 and something back. You know, the funniest part about this is that none of my troops can swim. So I can't actually go out here and fight these guys. Okay, this is bad. They can reach the Sanctuary of the Horde. Dread Spider Mount. Well, I guess why not? Let's take it. I suppose the big thing is that they don't know where my troops are. So they actually can't tell whether or not I'm coming in there. Rock guard. Picking up a few more spots. As well as the artisan fortifications. All of my cities are like Zoo has 200 fortifications. Okay, that's up on Red Hill. That's got me a little bit worried, a little bit nervous. Just realized I lost all my Thrall spells since we lost Lysor the Purifier. I'm gonna charge up a favorable winds. Right, and so hold on a second here. Oh yeah, no, lifesteal is here. Requires Urkon blood. Why couldn't I see this before? Did they take it off lance weapons? Did they take it off all two-handed weapons? No. Did they take it off all polearms? Just lances. Just lances are missing the lifesteal ability. It's got to be a bug. It's got to be a bug. Recently picked up the game, and the amount of content is pretty overwhelming. Glad to have found your streams. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Always happy to provide. We got lots of videos. Keep it simple at the start. Don't get too worried about things like the DLC. It becomes easier as time goes on. I don't actually think I need anything here, so I'm just going to make another Blood of the Old Gods, which is going to be not even crafted in time. And turn, 2 turns left. Watch me somehow whiff this in the last 2 turns. I really hope not. Racial units are the meta. Non-racials get used as a stopgap measure while you recruit racials. Again, it depends on your build. But generally, I would say it is very good to have racial units. Like if you have a lot of the racial tier 4 units and you have really good racial buffs, then you're going to have a strong build. But it's going to be much easier to counter that build because everything has a rock, paper, scissors counter. Almost entirely stopped using shield units. Oh, I love shield units. They're just, man, they're so hard to kill. They can take such a beating. Feels like they last forever in every fight. Only use them if you get cleft shield. I do love the star sign events. We didn't get any star signs in this playthrough, did we? I wonder if because we had intrigue, we didn't get star signs. I hope that's not the case. But I can't think of getting a single star sign. Back from dinner, how many turns will we win? 2. 2 turns remain. Minus 165. Oh, that's good. That's a good idea. Don't stop the Sanctuary of the Horde where I'm about to win the game in a single turn. Go siege my vassal at High Throne. That's a good play, computer. That was a good attack, High Throne. Good job. Now nobody is defending your city instead of all of your people defending the city. 10 out of 10. Did we get cleft? No, I don't remember having a single star sign event. Well, all of my armies. I guess let's get up out of this stinky pit. Those guys can vibe. I mean, should we take him in? It's the last minute. How can we not bring in classic Magma Orc, Duane Johansson? Ascended Earthshaker. Critical hits inflict stunned. Chaos Dedication, Demonkin, Earthkin, Rings of Binding. He's just hanging out. I wonder if I got Lysor the Purifier back, would I be able to still recruit him? I don't actually know. Desecrate, desecrate, desecrate. Desecrate your sanctuaries. Desecrate your tides. I am Calamity. I am Harambe. Bringer of the Age of Chaos. Defiler of the Southern Continent. Goadir of Eternity. High Defender's pretty good. The Honor Blades better. Honor Blades are good, but they're really expensive. They have the expensive upkeep. So you don't necessarily want to use too many of them. Spellbreakers are okay. Not used them in a while. Oh, if you're going Mystic, yeah. They've got that nice stun. That flash, shield flash stun. Zero, hello. Welcome. Zorn! Not Zorn. Is Zorn under siege? Buddy. Are you ever? But you seem to have a large navy coming to break you out. Maybe. Yes? Yes! Get them, Zorn. My man's got ironclads in there too. All right, there is one character left. Can she stop me? Or will she simply siege High Throne? The best part about this is they don't even know I have units here. And yet, they won't come to fight them. They are winning a lot of good sieges. And were this match to continue, I might be in some trouble, but probably not. I feel like all my allies are buckling, but everything else we're crushing. Lazier, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. Congratulations. Day 167 dawns! It's a boy. Harambe, Caesar. Or Caesar Harambe. Your people watch in awe as you stride forth, leaving madness and destruction in your wake. A red dawn shines upon the realm as you call forth an age of chaos. Well done, Lord of Chaos. We did it. I did not think we were going to win this campaign. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought for sure when we were early on and we were just getting dummied back and forth, when we were but a monkey in a zoo, things were not looking good for us. Titania took early lead. She is easily one of the best builds I've ever made. We got out a couple of early outposts. We got Rock Guard really early, which was nice. And then we stole Mentor's Pond. And then we just ended up in this ping pong back and forth where I was defending, trying to sack Peacefold while also trying to fight Zorn. And you can see, man, my score is just... We're making no progress. We get a few steps forward and then we get dunked. We did seemingly shatter Megaira pretty early, and I think that that really helped us. She never really got strong enough to challenge us again. And then it ended up being us against Zorn for most of it. That's right. We took Peacefold. He took Mentor's Pond. Then we took Mentor's Pond and he took Peacefold. Then we took Peacefold and Mentor's Pond, and then we lost Peacefold, but kept Mentor's Pond, putting us back to 0. Then finally, we managed to make a play against Red Hilt. And that's when the tide started to turn. You can actually see right here at turn 100, we are at the same score at turn 100 as we are basically at turn 1. And then we just start shooting right up, and then up, and then over, and then up, and then over. And then I just start basically suicide bombing everyone I can. We take Red Hilt, we take back some of our vassals. We end up in a period here with the 2 of these, both vassalized. This is, I think, we're not at war with Tenant here, but I think we have just like pieced out naturally. And then there's the massive push into Lighthaven, and you can just see White's score drops here from like turn 1-7, 1-10 onwards. As we start making that final push west, we finally free them from the cage of binding, and we decide, boom, let's nuke them. Drop them from orbit. Purple ended up with a much bigger swath of territory here than I thought. This central island was really, honestly, both of these central islands were really interesting. Titania just stuck up right up against the wall. What an interesting spawn location. 1 frame away from the edge of the map. So she just built and built and built and built and built. Spawned out over the sea. Honestly, I'm surprised she never came down here earlier to form vassal states. But she is peaceful. We were actually in first place for score here for a little while. And then Titania took it right back at the end. And we dropped down to 4th place. But it didn't matter. I was also just throwing units at the wall, burning down anything I could. Until finally, only the southern continent remained. Our vassal of Zorn, our alliance with World Shaper, and us. Kind of funny that the roads don't change. Yeah, I'd like, you also can't really see vassals properly. Beautiful. Caesar Harambe has proven worthy to ascend. Will you let him join the Pantheon? Of course. His ascension trait is Desecrator. Ghostfire Cascade. Target enemy unit sustains damage. This effect then cascades to adjacent units and is repeated. He can also summon accursed ogres. Shock unit that pushes enemy around and inflicts them with Ghostfire. I mean, that's pretty much, I think, correct. I could give him Assassin. I might actually give him Assassin. You know? There's a few new traits. He is all about the Ghostfire, but the problem is that he is not a mage. He is a man with a big sword. So Ascended Assassin feels like a strangely more correct answer for him. Let's take it. I'm gonna do it. He'll take Assassin. Wow. Wow. 12 points. So that's everything. We got everything on the map. We've defeated 114 heroes. We've gained 113 levels, getting us 2,000 points in that alone. Few cities vassalized, 13 tomes unlocked, and 10 cities conquered. Humongous. This will allow us to unlock the Dragon Head, the Blessed Dragon Spines, Vigilante Knights, the Jade Jagan Tiger Mounts, the Guardian Helmet, the Eldritch Guardian Helmet, the Eldritch Ogre Helmet, the Lindworm banner, and the Shuriken banner, giving us 3 extra points left over. It says I've unlocked 94%. That can't be true. Shouldn't I have 100%? Are there secrets in here? Are there secrets I don't know about? Secrets. I think there's secrets. It does say 151 out of 151, but it also says 94% down here. So obviously I'm suspicious. I'm always suspicious though. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. For everyone over on YouTube land, I hope you've enjoyed the campaign. We will have another campaign coming soon. We're going to do a little Songs of Silence. Next, we've got a couple of other strategy games we're taking a quick first look at. And then I'm planning to come back with a bunch of dragons. Probably the Path of Harmony. And maybe one of the campaign maps in this that we haven't beaten. Yet to decide. It might just be a skirmish. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you'll come back for the next one. It's been a blast. It's been my pleasure. We'll see you next time.